Here's something that confuses a lot of marketers. Google Analytics might say your campaign generated 120 conversions, but Google Ads says it generated 180 conversions, and Meta Ads Manager reports 240 conversions. Same campaign, 3 completely different numbers. So which one is actually correct? The answer comes down to one concept: conversion attribution. And once you understand it, those confusing marketing reports will finally make sense. In this video, I'll explain conversion attribution in the simplest way possible. You'll learn what attribution actually means, what a conversion path looks like, the most common attribution models, and we'll also look at the default attribution settings used by major marketing platforms. Because once you understand this concept, you'll know exactly why different tools often show different conversion numbers. Let's start with the basics. For example, first user sees Instagram ad, then clicks on Google search ads, then reads blog article, then got email. After this, you've got a conversion. Each interaction in this journey is called a touchpoint, and the big question is, how much credit should each touchpoint receive for the final conversion? That's where attribution models come in. The simplest attribution model is last-click attribution. This model gives 100% of the credit to the final interaction before the conversion. Let's look at this journey again. Instagram, search, blog, email, purchase. In the last-click model, the email gets all the credit, even though the Instagram ad and the blog article helped bring the customer to your brand. For many years, this was the most widely used attribution model, mostly because it was simple and easy to measure. But there's a big problem. It completely ignores the earlier steps in the customer journey. First-click attribution does the opposite. Instead of the last interaction, it gives all the credit to the first interaction. So if the journey looks like this: Instagram, search, blog, email, purchase, the Instagram ad gets 100% of the credit. The idea is that the first touchpoint introduced the customer to your brand. This model is often used when marketers want to measure brand awareness channels, but it also ignores the rest of the journey. The linear attribution model spreads credit evenly across all interactions if the customer journey looks like this: Instagram, search, blog, email, purchase. Then each step might receive 25% of the credit. This model acknowledges that multiple touchpoints helped influence the conversion. However, it assumes every interaction had the same level of impact, which may not always be true. The time decay model assumes that touchpoints closer to the conversion are more influential. For example, first user sees ad on Instagram, then clicks on search advertisement, then reads blog, then gets email, from which did a purchase. Instagram might receive 10% of the credit. Search might receive 20% of the credit. The blog might receive 30%, and the email might receive 50%. The closer the interaction is to the conversion, the more credit it receives. Position-based attribution is sometimes called the U-shaped model. This model gives most of the credit to the first interaction and the final interaction. For example, first user sees ad on Instagram, then clicks on search advertisement, then reads blog, then gets email, from which did a purchase. Instagram might receive 40%, email might receive 40%, and the middle interactions share the remaining 20%. This model assumes that the first interaction created awareness, while the last interaction closed the deal. The most advanced model today is data-driven attribution. Instead of using fixed rules, this model analyzes real user behavior. Imagine thousands of customer journeys like this. First user sees ad on Instagram, then clicks on search advertisement, then reads blog, then gets email, from which did a purchase. A system analyzes all those journeys and learns patterns. For example, maybe users who read your blog convert much more often. Or maybe email campaigns work best after someone visits your website. The system then distributes credit based on actual data patterns. That's why it's called data-driven attribution. And today, it's widely recommended by platforms like Google Analytics 4. Without attribution, marketing data can be very misleading. Imagine your reports show that email drives most of your sales. You might assume email is your most important channel. But attribution analysis might reveal something else. Maybe social media actually starts most customer journeys. And without those social ads, those email conversions might never happen. This is why attribution helps marketers decide where to invest advertising budget. Which channels drive awareness? Which channels close the sale? Now, let's go back to the question we asked at the beginning. Why do different marketing platforms show different conversion numbers? The reason is simple. Each platform uses different attribution rules by default. In Google Analytics 4, the default reporting model is data-driven attribution. This means the system analyzes conversion paths and distributes credit using machine learning. In Google Ads, the recommended model is also data-driven attribution. However, some advertisers still use last-click attribution, which can produce different numbers. Meta Ads Manager works differently. By default, Meta counts conversions if they happen within 7 days after someone clicks the ad or 1 day after viewing the ad. This is called a 7-day click, 1-day view attribution window. This means Meta can count conversions even if the user only saw the ad but didn't click it. And that's one reason Meta often reports more conversions than analytics platforms. Let's quickly summarize. Conversion attribution helps marketers understand which channels contribute to conversions. We looked at several attribution models: last click, first click, linear, time decay, position-based, data-driven. We also learned that different platforms use different attribution rules. And that's why marketing reports can sometimes show different numbers for the same campaign. But once you understand attribution, those numbers start to make much more sense. If you found this explanation helpful, consider subscribing to the channel. I publish simple explanations about marketing, advertising, business, and artificial intelligence. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.